No, 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 no. Wait. Wait.
Hello there. If you haven't seen the last episode, I've been building a program to choose cards for me in Slay the Spire. To recap, the program was able to beat Ascension 0, but there were 3 main issues that prevented any sort of consistency on even early Ascensions. It wasn't able to skip cards, use the rarity to determine importance of cards, and it took too many energy and draw cards in the early game. Let me walk you through these changes and show you how the improved program works. First of all, I reworked the way the code will decide which cards to pick. To make it simple, when presented with a choice, the code will assign each card a score, and pick the card with the highest score out of the 3. To assign scores, each card is put through a formula, which is divided into 2 sections. The first one is just the card weight, assigned in the previous episode, which is basically just a number that defines how strong the card generally is. While the second part is what I call an imbalance. Basically it measures how far off the selected card category is from perfect balance. For example, if you need attack cards, this selection will give a positive number to increase the score, while if you have too many, it will give a negative number to decrease it. I also implemented custom starting values for each category, so that the program will naturally prefer attacks over defense and utility cards in the beginning. As for skipping, once a card score has been generated, the code will compare it with a different parameter, the skip score. This basically treats the skip option as it was a card, with its own score growing as the deck gets bigger over time. And with that, all 3 issues have mostly been solved. After that, I just did some quality of life improvements and small fixes, and we got version 2.0 of the program, which was able to beat Ascension 1 and 5. While I was quite happy about the upgrades, the program developed some new bad habits, which mainly revolved around taking too many copies of the same good cards. To reduce this problem, I implemented 2 things. First off, I added a duplicate weight reduction score. It's exactly as it sounds. Basically, before calculating a card score, the code will reduce the weight of said card by the number of copies of it already in the deck. This was especially an issue for cards with weight 5, the S tier cards, as they cover all very important roles. This way the program should allow for more card diversity. The second fix was to implement an optional maximum number of copies for each card. Currently I only put it on Disarm at 1 copy, and it makes it so once the limit has been reached, the code simply reduces the weight so much that it effectively stops cards from reaching any number of copy higher than what has been set. And finally, here we are in the current version. After testing it for a good while and fixing everything I thought was wrong, however, the engine just kept losing. As of right now, it has beat Ascension 10 a couple of times, but it is extremely inconsistent. Even after all these upgrades, the engine still has big issues getting past Act 1, and when it manages to do so, it often just ends up sabotaging a well-constructed deck with cards that have no business being there. After looking more carefully at the run footage, I think I pinpointed more issues that need fixing. Let's start by getting the biggest one out of the way. The engine does not understand why good cards are good. Even though I put a dupes weight reduction, if the engine gets the option to pick 3 copies of Feel No Pain or any other high tier card in a row, in a choice with Clashes or Wild Strikes or any other low tier cards, the engine will always take the dupes. But that's not all. This lack of knowledge also leads the engine to take cards that either belong to completely different decks or take many cards for a specific build without having any of the pieces to make it work. Also, some cards, especially the strength ones, require some significant weight changes, or even a separate category altogether. It stands right now, the engine does not like scaling at all. Second big issue, and something that was bound to happen, utility is too broad of a category, especially since both energy generators and the card draw are in there. It leads to sometimes the engine picking 20 ways to draw cards without any way to get energy, and vice versa. The engine also lacks nuance. For example, the big bonk cards that are great early on, like Carnage or an early Bludgeon, are almost never picked because of their low weights, while in the first act they would be very useful. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not going to just stand here and blame all the losses on the engine. I am not a great player, I barely beat Ascension 20 once, and I make misplays on the regular, which is why it's very annoying to try and differentiate between engine and human mistakes. So yeah, version 2.2 is technically able to beating mid Ascension, but not very consistently, and most of the issues come from a lack of understanding of card synergy from the engine, which means that for version 3 I can just tweak weights or change the formula again. As much as I wanted to procrastinate it, I think it is time to go one layer deeper and implement the first bones of a synergistic system. I might release a version of this code once I add the proper logging and the ability to save past runs. If you are interested in testing it, let me know in the comments, as well as any criticism about the code or the video. Lastly, if you liked this video, please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing if you want to see how this continues. That said, I think that's all from me, so have a blessed day and I'll see you next time. Peace!